kind of comes down to two things. First, just scoring. We have a lot of scoring to make up from last year, and I think we're just trying to find out who's going to be consistent game after game, and it's hard. It's definitely hard to find consistent scorers at a pretty high level of play. So I think we're all just kind of working out the kinks in our offense. And also the other thing I think is rebounding. We're not as tall as we were last year as well, so just boxing out every possession and not letting them get easy offensive rebounds is huge for us. It's interesting. I don't mind it. I really don't. It gives me time to look at the team before actually going out to play, and it gets me set mentally, and I've been enjoying it so far. They're two very, very tough teams, but they'll both probably play a lot of zones, so we've been working on that all week, and just trying to find different plays that will work off that, and hopefully we can play two really good games.
Well, I thought last weekend, was a really eye-opening experience for some of our freshmen, just to see the kind of physical play and the type of intensity that we're going to see on back-to-back games in our conference. So I think one of the encouraging things was, I thought as the weekend went along, we started to adapt a little better to the physicalness, we weren't making as many turnovers as we were. The first half against St. Cloud, we didn't play very well, but I thought after that point, there was stretches and periods where we did a pretty good job. And so when you're playing 3 and 4 freshmen at times, you have to look for the little things, because we know that it's not going to all come at once, but we feel as the season keeps progressing, we can get better at the things we didn't do well. We didn't rebound very well. We didn't pass the ball very well, but we can get better at those. Well, we tend to, like most of the schools in our conference, we'll have 2 or 3 people, like you're right, Czar, Pelzer, and Sensky for the most part have been pretty consistent starters. Then a lot of times we'll look at what's the matchup. Is it a team that's bigger and we need more, rebounding? Is it someone where they're going to play zone, so we need another shooter out there? Because the positive thing is we feel that we really have 7 or 8 people that could start, depending on what the situation dictates. Now, ideally, it would be great if we can get some consistency so that we could have the same 5 starters all the time. That would be an ideal world. But I think it's okay that people fit into different roles. Sometimes you start, as we all know, to coaches, starting, it doesn't matter. But to players, we all played and we understand, yeah, starting's a big deal. We understand that, But we're looking at what gives us the best way to get off to a good start, what gives us the best chance to have some real positive things happen at the beginning of the game, and sometimes that means changing up the lineup. So in our case, when we change the lineup, it's not necessarily because someone's not doing well, but it's because of matchups and what we're looking to start out in. It's finals week for everybody, yeah. And like I told the players, in some ways I like being on the road better, because when you're at home, you may have a final right up till 4 o'clock or 3:30, and then you're starting to get ready for a game an hour later. Here, yeah, this week's been crazy with practices and finding practice times and things, because they're taking their finals early and things, because they are missing a couple days of finals. But like I told them, once we're on the road, now you can start to focus on basketball. Yes, they're studying for finals that will happen next week, because finals go through Wednesday. But I think being on the road and being able to just not being sitting in the classroom all day, I think there's maybe some advantages to that. Now, going to Augustana and Wayne, yeah, there's a tough place to play. There's no doubt about it. But you know what? That's what I love about basketball. You never know. Yeah. You always have a chance. You just got to play well. What we have to do, and I talked about this earlier, is that we have to stretch. Instead of playing well for 24 to 28 minutes, we got to find a way to play well 32 to 36 minutes. You're never going to play a perfect game, but we can't have the lulls, like in the Duluth game, for example. You take out the run where they went on a double-digit run on us, and it's a pretty good basketball game. But when things go bad, you got to find a way to right the ship. Like I told them, I only have so many timeouts. I can't call a timeout every 10 seconds, and so that's part of the maturity process and part of the process of learning how to fight through those things and work through those steps and those processes, because every game, I don't care what it is going to have some adversity in it, but you got to try to minimize that and turn it into a positive for you and make the other team be on their heels. Well, one of the things that's going to happen this weekend is we're going to see a lot of zone. Yeah. We know Wayne is one of the few teams in our league. Now, a lot of schools in our league this year are playing zone. We're one of them that are playing more and more zone, just because teams are getting to be so good at the dribble drive offense, and the rules are really protecting the ball handler and things like that. So we're seeing a lot more zone across the board in our league, but Wayne year in and year out has played zone exclusively. Augustana's playing zone about 60-70% of the time this year. So we know that that is going to be different than what we saw last week, other than Duluth had to go to a zone in the second half when we were making a run, and we cut the lead down to, I believe it was 10, and they went to a zone. So we've been working on our zone offenses, getting sharper, talking about the, what do you do, how do you attack a zone, what are the things that you try to do offensively to be successful with that. So that'll be different.